Hey, I'm going to make this video hoping that I can remember to put it on YouTube and get it edited and everything else. I'm making a couple of, actually 4 screw jacks. These are going to be used to level a small camping trailer so that I can put it on, pull it off the trailer that will be towing it, that will actually be transporting it. And this will allow me to get it off the trailer to the right height that it was originally before I took the running gear out from under it, and level it up to where it needs to be. Also, I'm doing essentially for about $12 a jack what it would cost me close to $40 a jack to find. Now granted, this is not engineered. This is my thinking, my engineering, going off of my experience and what it takes. So I have a regular piece of 11 gauge square tubing. I have a piece of quarter or heavier gauge square tubing. It's not quite quarter wall. It's a heavier gauge. All thread with nuts, washers, and the square nut. This is an overlooked nut that people forget about. It just so happens that that nut will fit inside this heavy wall tubing, which this heavy wall tubing is 1.25 inches. And the inside dimensions, this thing will actually tap in there. And see, it just fell down through. You can tap this thing in, swedge it a little bit, and I always put it with the crown up. That way you've got a good spot to really get some weld metal. And I've already got one done. Ground down. Prototype was finished. I'm actually doing a second. I'm working on the second one here. So I'm going to put this thing together, weld it up. You'll see I've got double washers. What we'll do is I'll weld the bottom nut to the all thread. The bottom washer will be cut to fit the receiver tube, which is the bigger tube. The top washer will be welded in place on top of the tube, and then the nut will be installed on top, and I will run it down to where it's just about that high and tack it. And the reason why I'm tacking this nut instead of pinning it is because, one, I don't want to have to go through the problem of drilling these 2 pieces out and then finding the right cotter pin. And a cotter pin's not going to work anyway. It's going to have to be a roll pin, because what I'm actually going to use for the jack itself to move it up and down is that. A little impact hammer that will do this job fine, because it's going on that over there, and that whole thing weighs a whopping 500 pounds, soaking wet. With all my gear, me and my family, it might weigh 1,000 pounds total. So my Texas engineering tells me that this should be more than sufficient to hold up 1,000 pounds when you have one on each corner. I'm going to put it together and get it all done up, and I'll show you all its operation in the next video.